Hello and welcome to my walkthrough of the Norwegian Bliss interior public areas. I was on the Bliss in February and captured this video. The best thing about it, I booked it for a total cost as a solo in an interior cabin for $772.98. If you want to know more about how I book these cruises at such low prices, comment below and I can put a video together on the topic. For those that don't know me, I retired in 2017, sold everything, bought a motorhome, and travel 100% of the time now. Up until 2022, I traveled through the US in the RV from coast to coast. In 2022, I started to add cruising to my travel adventures. I have done 25 cruises since then. The Bliss was refurbished in 2021, and it is just refurbished again before I got on it in February 2025. Let's take a walk around the Bliss. If you want to see a walkthrough of the Bliss before it went into dry dock, you can see it with the link above. If you want to see a walkthrough of my interior cabin, click the link above. We start off on deck 5 out of the elevator aft. There are only 2 elevator banks on this ship. We first come to the video game room. Some things to look at during this video are the following. There were over 1,000 contractors on board over the 2-week dry dock, as they stayed on the ship and all the ship functions were working. Some of the items completed were new cabins added to deck 15, where a portion of the observation lounge was removed, new fabric on some of the furniture, all the mattresses were replaced with new ones, the hull of the ship was repainted, the azipods, which are the engines, were completely rebuilt along with maintenance of the bow thrusters and stabilizers. Cagney State House was extended where Los Lobos used to be. Coco's Chocolatier was replaced with the expanded teppanyaki. Important thing was the dry dock normally would have taken 3 weeks, and they completed it in 2 weeks. Although some of it was started early and some of it was finished late with passengers on board. Next up is Splash Academy. It is for the kids aged 3 to 12 years old. Continuing along, we come to Guppies. It is for the youngest guests aged 3 months to 6 years old. We are now at the aft elevators. There are maps at each bank and each floor. We take the stairs up to deck 6. We turn left and enter Q Texas Smokehouse. This is a specialty restaurant. They also have entertainment here at night. We go to the opposite side and see crew meeting rooms and is generally off limits to passengers. We pass the elevators and enter the atrium that has a piano, large screen, seating, and a stage area. Many activities will be held here during the cruise. The atrium is open to the local up on deck 7. We now see Perspective Studio where photo sessions can be purchased. Down a hallway is a card game room, library, and meeting rooms. We cross the atrium and see the Internet Cafe manager's desk. This was a busy place as everyone wanted to know how to use the internet and get credit for times the internet was not working or was very slow. This was a disappointing cruise in that respect. We pass the atrium bar and then is the shore excursions desk. The onboard credit desk, and then guest services desk.
Morning.
Continuing left is the cruise next desk. I do hope you're familiar with this, as it is a way to save money on your cruises with NCL. If you're not familiar and want me to do a video on it, please comment below. To the left is a full-on Starbucks location. We leave the atrium and enter a multi-level area that has stairs to deck 7 and the casino. There's a large LED chandelier in the center. Across the way is the Social Comedy and Nightclub. We see the art gallery manager's office and then teppanyaki, a specialty restaurant, and usually is my favorite one to go to on the ship. This also doubles as a place to make specialty dining reservations when not open for dining. Straight ahead is a hall with restrooms at the end. We now head aft and past the art gallery. The items here will change during the cruise. The mix bar is now in the center. Taste is to the left, savor to the right. We walk through each. These menus will be the same for each main dining room. You can then view the menus for taste and savor the complimentary dining options. After the dry dock, they moved the scale replica of the Bliss here. You can also see the plaques from when the boat visited a port for the first time. We now head up to deck 7 aft. We find the Manhattan main dining room. This is included in your cruise. I don't enter here as the door was large and heavy and unmanageable with one hand while videoing. A view comes later from above when we are in Cagney's, though. We walk through the casino. We exit the casino and are at the local bar, which is the 24-hour eatery included in the cruise fare. It's not actually 24 hours, but it's pretty close. There's a couple hours overnight it is not open. Some seating overlooks the atrium on deck 6. We exit the local and we find a 2-lane bowling alley and some games. There's a fee for the bowling and the games. We are at the front of the ship and find the Bliss Theater. Jersey Boys, Icons, and the Beatles were the shows on this cruise. It is a single level type theater. We head up to deck 8. We head starboard and find Food Republic, a specialty restaurant. Then we head outside to the area called the waterfront. This area runs most of the length of the ship on both sides. We now head over to port and see the District Brewhouse. Morning. 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 From the outside, you can see it going to be a great sunrise. Now we find La Cucina, another specialty restaurant. There are lots of wine options in here. I found the filet to be the best main course on their menu and also loved the tiramisu. Outside here is the cellar where wine events are held. Across from here is the cavern where the Beatles group will play often. This is also where the Sodal meetups were held because there were so many of us on this cruise. We then come across Malting's Whiskey Bar. Throughout the ship, there is plenty of artwork. Continuing on, we are at Sugarcane Mojito Bar. We pass the entrance to Tradewind's duty-free store and other shopping. We enter a new restaurant on board called Palomar, a specialty restaurant. It replaces Ocean Blue after the dry dock work. We now walk through the Tradewind shopping area. On the left is the photo gallery. We leave this area and are at the aft elevators. We continue aft where Cagney's is. It is another specialty restaurant. After the dry dock, there is no more Los Lobos, where Cagney's took over the space previously occupied by them. From Cagney's, we look down at the Manhattan room as mentioned before. We take the elevator to deck 13 where the medical center is. Hopefully you don't end up here. On a recent cruise, I did, and you might hear it in my voice still. Let me know in a comment below if you want me to do a video on my experience at the medical center. We now head forward and end up to the forward elevators on deck 15. Note that there are now cabins where the observation used to be on the port side. We enter the observation lounge. There is a hand washing station and seating. You will find water and juice stations along with continental breakfast. Pastries and snacks are available until 5 p.m. Then it all goes away. There are screens to view the ship's location and other tidbits.
Morning.
Morning. Morning. At the front of the ship, now there are more buffet items, coffee, juice, and water. Also is a piano that is used at night. Comfortable loungers are available at the front so one can pass the day away. Many people camp out here and it can be super difficult to get one of these. This space was drastically reduced after the dry dock, although it looks as though the same amount of furniture is there. It is simply much closer together and feels more crowded, especially on sea days. We now head up to 16 via the elevator. Here we find the Garden Cafe and a washing station.
Morning. Morning, vlogger. And then the sunset.
This is the main buffet on the ship. It has a number of stations and are a number of duplicate, but do look around as there are many different items available. I ate many meals here and found the Indian section to be quite good. At the front of the ship, it overlooks the observation lounge below.
Morning.
We exit the buffet and head outside and find two pools on deck. There's a stage, a few bars, and lots of lounge chairs. We passed the new smoking section that was redone in dry dock. It now has some walls to block some of the wind. It does smell like a smokestack in this area, even though it was just put in place a few days ago. We are now at the rear of the ship and find Pulse Fitness Center and the Mandara Spa. The gym is pretty well equipped. We walk up to deck 17. We passed the elevators and head outside to the American Diner. We walk up to deck 18 and find the Bliss Speedway. There is a fee for this. We walk up to deck 19 and see more of the speedway and the mini golf area. This overlooks Spice H2O below, which is an adult-only area. We head back down to 17 and check out the adult area.
Morning.
There is a bar, a stage, 2 hot tubs, and a pretty awesome overhead rain shower. You'll have to get up early to get the glorious sunrise I had here, though. I hope you find this useful. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. It is the one and only way to let me know if I should continue to provide this content. I have more coming weekly. Let me know what you liked and might want to see. And that's a wrap, folks. If you're going on the Bliss, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.